Alright YouTube, we've got some advice for you today. So this is going to be a short video trying to describe to you advice for reading PhD students. This may sound funny, you've been taught to read at school, you may think, I can read already, but if you just started a course, you may not realise that there's particular approaches to do what you need to do to get what you need to get out of academic reading. And I wanted to talk to you about them briefly today to save you possibly a large number of hours as you go through your studies. So, what do you do when you read? If you pick up a book, do you normally go from one cover straight to the other, get all the information out of it, see what you can find, maybe pick some up, some new skills you didn't have? Or do you go through the index? Do you look at the authors? Do you pick out just what you need from the book itself, move on, pick up the next one, and the next one, cherry picking to get what it is you're trying to find? The answer to the question is the latter. So, if I'm reading this book and I want to find out about knowledge transfer, there's 2 or 3 pages at the beginning, there's an entire chapter in chapter 7 at the end that tells me what I want to know, and that'll be it. It took me about an hour to find what I wanted out of this book. Is there other information in this book to read that's useful? Absolutely, but you've got a question to answer, a specific question, a bounded one. It could be really specific. It could be, what does this electron do in the citric acid cycle of this particular plant? So you don't want a generalist approach to reading. You really want to pick the information you need, and move on. So I've spent an hour reading this, ideal, I've got what I wanted, I think I took notes on it. Now, I can move on to this book instead. Another thicker book. It's got a little bit less on it, what I want, but I can get through it relatively quickly because I'm not trying to read 430 pages of in-depth stuff and you get to a point of fatigue about what you can take in. If you're putting an hour into it, you'll retain more, you'll get through it quickly, and you'll get to more books. You've got to understand that you've got a threshold for passing and a specific hypothesis of question and answer. You don't have time for voluminous texts. Sure, later on, if you come to another problem, great, go return to it, read it, mark it, perhaps something of interest, you can use little flags, put in the book, fine, but do not go cover to cover because you just don't have the time. And it's a technique that you have to learn for later life when you've got pressing reports and papers to both write and correct and send back. You just don't have all the hours in the day you'd like to. So use the indexes, use the author list, use the chapter lists, and if you don't have the book already, go onto Google Books. It has a find function. Amazon has a search function. Once you log into its books, you can even identify keywords like you would for a systematic review. Pick things out, go and read those bits. That's all you need to do. As much as you enjoy, and I enjoy, scholarly leisure, and it's great to pick up a massive tome and say, I finished this 600-page bear moth on whatever the subject might be, that's not how you to go about doing this type of work for academic reading, unless you're doing a particular humanities subject where you maybe literally have to know the entire canon of literature. But for most people, picking up a methodology, picking up a particular system or series of information, it will be bits. Because the final point is, no book exists that has all the information you need on it, because that's the point of your PhD. The end of it is that you'll be able to produce something just on that topic. So you literally won't find it all from cover to cover on a publication. The idea being that you'll be able to write that at the end. So don't feel guilty about skipping bits. That's what you're meant to do. Alright, that's all for today. Have a great time.